have to say, we've spoken a lot throughout this process, and you have been right 100% of the time, because whenever I consulted you on a question, something I may have read or heard or rumor, in we would chat, and it's not until we've gotten to this point in the end that I can look back and say everything you gave me in answers was 100% correct, was right. So, what you had estimated, or what may or may not happen, happened, played out exactly how you thought it would play out. So that was amazing. Keeping on top of the organization, the timing, and what pace and what sequence do you do everything? For example, like starting that Common App essay, in junior year was a surprise to me. And then, I know Ethan started working on a lot of the essays over the supplemental essays over the summer, and things quickly progressed from there. And honestly, I would have been completely in the dark in terms of when and how and what sequence, what order to approach all these different facets of the application process. And even tackling the activities list as early as summer. If it weren't for you all, I would have never guessed, let's go through the activities list of all things. And that ended up being a tremendous amount of work. So that was, so much to think about. It was just surprising how many little facets and portions of the process, needed to be thought about at a very early stage.
I think a student can present himself or herself in any way in terms of academics, grades, activities, things like that. But the way the college system works, right? It just requires that level of expertise and understanding and know-how as to how to best package the right student and their capabilities, their talents, their strengths, right? And kind of done so in the right way is really everything. And in Ethan's situation, right, he says himself, like, may not be the most fantastical writer, right? But with that, it's really was super helpful, because that is the first presentation of a candidate, right? And that is everything. They're not going to look, as much as it is a data-driven decision, it's also, I think, an emotional one as well. And I think that is super helpful and important to come across in the writings and the essays and all the packaging around any sort of candidates.
Value add that I saw is, as bright as Ethan is, he's super, super intelligent and smart and bright. Creativity isn't necessarily his stronger suit. So Tyler was able to effectively introduce questions that helped his creative juices get flowing. So, without some of the questions, the essays, had it been just him, solo, I think it would be really hard to think about where to take different thought processes or ideas. So that was very, very helpful to see my son branch out into some of those more creative realms. So
it's funny, I would create a rough draft, and he would help not only just edit, like help me with the grammar and the basic stuff, but he would also ask me questions for me to expand on, and he would shape the essay and give me new ideas for where I should write more about, and that was very helpful, and it was really cool, working, going back and forth on the essays with them.
I guess one thing that was really stuck out for me was you spend a lot of time together, right, with someone at that level, and there's so much introspection that is done in order to generate those types of essays. So what you arrive at the end is a 250 word, or whatever the character limits and word limits are for many of the essays. But to get to that point, as a Twain, you said, like, I would have written a longer letter if I had more time, right? Like, or a shorter letter if I had more time. I mean, it's so special, but to really spend so much time with someone, it says a lot. It's a testament to the type of person that I think Tyler is, and the work that he's done. I mean, I think the results, I think, are super profound. I think we're ecstatic, frankly, with not just our son, but your guidance. I think the structure of the program, the timelines, the deadlines, reminders, and it's a lot. It's a machine that has to work well, and if you miss one key component of that, it can throw everything off. So we're super very thankful for his guidance around all that.
I know I would not be able to gotten nearly as far, even close, without your help. Like I said, going into it, I didn't know much of the college landscape at all. It was very daunting to me, and with you guys really helped me understand the landscape better, and I was able to have a clear plan and idea starting early, and that really, I think, helped me be successful.
The proof is in the pudding. So, everything we, just chatted about, it's an investment up front, but it, definitely saves a lot of money in the back end and, gives us a lot of confidence in the college decision we're making. Plus it takes a lot of the pain away from the process and that I'm not fretting about missing deadlines and timing, etc. So absolutely.
For sure, would certainly recommend to anybody who's considering it. It's number one, and the why is quite simple. I mean, again, unless you're an expert in this area, it takes a heck of a lot of time. Frankly almost an impossibility because you can't just gather that experience in a matter of weeks or even months. It takes years and years and years, and from multiple angles and perspectives. And you're either going to take a major risk and try and muscle it yourself, or really lean on those experts who really know what the ecosystem is and help you navigate through that. And in doing so, it saves you a lot of time. So, for us, we can remain focused on other things. We have family and other children and everything else. And we felt really comfortable and confident, right, in that, with the structure of the program and the plan and the milestones to hit and everything else, we felt really good that, hey, this is fantastic. We said multiple times over many nights and days, like, gosh, thank God for you all.